This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog with another weekly edition of Baseball Observation, this time as well for off-season news. The hot stove has been a lot busier this year than it has been in the past couple of years. Let's start off with the Rays. Last year, when their catcher Zunino got hurt, their backup and their third-string catcher got hurt, so they had to be desperate enough to try to get Jarno and Kratz from another team to play for them. So this year they said, you know what, we're going to sign Kevin Smith, who was on the Sox and the Angels the past 2 seasons, and Chris Herman, who's been on multiple teams the past couple of years. Let's just sign him to minor league deals, so just in case we have injuries again, we got guys there. Dodgers brought Alex Wood in like they did with Jimmy Nelson. They're hoping when healthy, they can give them innings in the rotation because they lost 2 of their starters. In free agency, the Rangers signed Todd Frazier after last year's mistake of Cabrera and Logan Forsythe at third base, so they decided to go with Todd Frazier at third base. They also did not get other third basemen like Josh Donaldson or Anthony Rendon, so that's why they went and got themselves Frazier. It's a good move for them. Plays good in defense. He getting 20 home runs a year. If they had gotten a third baseman, he could have slid over to play first base. Orioles signed Brian Holiday a minor league deal. They have so many catchers on their 4-man roster. It's just depth. The Giants decided, you know what? We'll take a prospect in this trade in order to get ourselves Zach Cozart, and then we'll also pick up a pitcher from the Angels off waivers as well. So they get a prospect from the Angels, and they steal a pitcher off waivers from the Angels, and all they do is just eat Zach Cozart's contract. Okay, fine, he's a free agent. A's, after trading Jersey Boras to the Padres, they needed another second baseman who can play everywhere, so they got themselves Tony Kemp. Tigers signed Von Nova. That's better than the 2 starters they had last year in Ross and Moore, because Nova will stay healthy. He'll consistently pitch 200 innings. He'll just be super consistent. He'll have some really good games and some okay games, but consistently the Tigers can use him so he can eat up innings and maybe flip him at the deadline. The Cardinals, after trading a couple outfielders in the offseason to the Rays, Rangers, and other teams, and that Ozuna's a free agent, they went and got Austin Dean from the Cardinals. Maybe being on the Cardinals, he may turn around. You never know. But they needed somebody because they needed somebody to play left field. Phillies decided that, you know what, we're going to pick up Nick Martini because he's a useful piece off the bench, but we're going to DFA Edubert Herrera, who at one point led off for us, batted second or batted third. He's been their center fielder a lot of times. They're still going to have to pay him all that money. Nobody's going to, probably pick him off waivers and pay all that money to pick up a guy who was busted for domestic violence, and he's been injured, so they'll probably go through waivers, and they'll still have him in their system. Angels traded for Matt Andriese. They need innings out of pitchers, no matter if he's going to start or relieve, because he started for the Rays and relieved for the Diamondbacks mostly. Then the Cubs signed 2 pitchers to minor league deals, Jason Adam and Tyler Olson. Very exciting news there. They just being low-cost moves there. The Reds signed Nate Jones to minor league deal. And this is a big if, Nate Jones is healthy, he's good. The problem is he can't stay healthy. Padres signed Jared Eichhoff. He's still under the age of 30. He bounced around between the rotation, bullpen, and AAA for the Phillies the past couple of years. Maybe he makes the rotation out of spring training for the Padres because they don't have enough starters. The Diamondbacks re-signed Travis Snyder to a minor league deal, just organizational depth, and they got Pat Vallejo off waivers, who bounced around through waivers for a couple teams. Just again, depth right there. The Red Sox traded Sam Travis after they took him off the roster to the Rangers for Jeffrey Springs, who they took off the roster. Red Sox bullpen wasn't that great last year. Any new arms is good for them. The Rangers, as I said, don't really have a good first baseman, so Sam Travis, even though he's on the 4-man roster, it's a good chance maybe to make the team out of spring training. Nats signed Mac Williamson to a minor league deal. It's good organizational depth. Braves signed Solarte to a minor league deal, super utility player, and re-signed Danny Echeverria to a major league deal. It's good organizational depth. You never know if Dansby Swanson's going to stay healthy for a full season, or Austin Riley, who's the only guy they have at third base. The White Sox signed Andrew Romine, the brother of Austin Romine, to a minor league deal. He could play every position. He did in 1 game. He even pitched a catch. And they signed Brian Mitchell, who was an interesting pitcher for the Yankees who could start and relieve. Pirates tried him out as a reliever. Didn't work out. Sox need some bullpen just in case. It's a good minor league deal. Giants, after signing Tyson Ross to a minor league deal and Kevin Gausman, they want to sign Drew Smyly to a deal. Again, they just need innings to be pitched. Blue Jays signed Ruben Tejada to a minor league deal. They have a log jam in the infield that they cleared up by getting rid of Richard Arena, who went to their rival, the Orioles. He'll probably just stay in the minor leagues, Ruben Tejada. And then the biggest move is the Twins sign themselves Josh Donaldson. Now, they didn't need Josh Donaldson because their lineup, everybody was hitting home runs 20 at a time, every single guy basically. So what was the point of doing that? They thought, you know what, we get rid of Chrome because he couldn't stay healthy and he has the potential to hit 40 home runs a year, and he only 20 something. So that was not enough for them. So they said we'll sign Donaldson. The problem is Donaldson is older. Yes, he's a great defensive player at third base, and he's a good guy at the pad in the middle lineup. He's a good clubhouse guy, but for a 4-year deal for a guy who's in his mid-30s, it's not the greatest deal on the planet. But they wanted somebody in the middle of the lineup to go with Sano and Cruz and Rosario. It just means Sano can move over to first base full time because they signed him to an extension and he's not a great defensive player. So that helps them out with the shuffle of their whole entire infield as well by improving their defense because he's a Gold Glove caliber third baseman even at this stage in his career if he's actually healthy, and it moves Sano to first base. It doesn't put them as the clear favorites in the AL Central because they still don't have a great rotation overall and a great bullpen overall, and some of the projected lineups have him batting second, which is pretty weird because he should be batting third or fourth or fifth in that lineup. And now Mario Gonzalez should be full-time backup infielder. There also should be no reason for Mario Gonzalez to play the outfield. That's another story. And to end these weekly baseball observations for the On the Radar Entertainment blog for a Hosto session, I want to wish happy trails to Carlos Gomez, the former center fielder of the Brewers, the Mets, the Twins, the Rays, you name it. He played for a bunch of teams. He decided to officially retire from baseball, even though I think he still could be a useful backup outfielder for a team. So thanks for listening to another weekly edition for Baseball Observation. I'm ready for the entertainment blog. See you next week.